So while I was scrolling LinkedIn, I saw this article about OpenAI backing an AI animated feature film, and the article is on the Wall Street Journal. And to give you just a kind of gist of what the article is about, it basically says that OpenAI is partnering with like an animation studio group or whatever, and they are going to fund a film by giving it around average, I think it is not exactly, but $30 million to produce this film called Critters, which is basically about like these creatures that have to go on a journey after something has disrupted their, village or whatever, right? Now, the thing about this film, which is interesting or different from how people expect AI to be used, is that what it seems that they're doing is that they are having artists still do drawings and concept art and stuff, but they're taking the concept sketches and they're feeding it into the AI, and the AI is going to like render out the the final version of it, right? So you could see here, they have like the concept sketches from like a human artist, and then they put it into the AI, and then the AI kind of spits out kind of like this 3D render, right? So if you're in animation, you know that from a quick sketch to a final render, there's a lot of people in the process, right? You have sculptors, you have shaders, you have visual development artists, character designers, etc., right? And I'm assuming that these groups of artists are basically going to be removed from the process in creating this film, and they're just gonna try and keep, I think it's like only 30 people that are gonna be on the film, and they're gonna try and make this film in less than a year. Now, there are a lot of questions I would like to ask the people who are making this film. I would love to do an interview with them to ask them, because for me, or from what I understand, a lot of the time spent making an animated film, which is usually average 4 to 5 years with humans, the reason why it takes so long is because story is really hard to crack. Like, we do a lot of revisions, we're constantly trying to find the movie, and even if we have a version, we might like it, and then we go back and we do it again and do it again and do it again until we actually like find the version of the movie that we want. And sometimes that could take a year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on the budget, right? That's actually probably why Spider-Verse hasn't come out yet, because they're probably still trying to find the best story possible. So it's not, in a sense, really because visual development artists or modelers or animators can't do a job in a specific amount of time or a short amount of time. It's usually because, and I'm in this department, is that story is really hard to crack. Now, they're saying that the movie is gonna take around 8 or 9 months to make. Now, this is why I want to ask is, are they just gonna go with the first story that the writers come up with or the AI comes up with? Like, are they gonna like do revisions and have multiple screenings to find the perfect story, or are they just gonna go with the first story that this person comes up with and just goes with it, right? Because story is literally the part of the process that takes the longest time, and then usually at the back end, animation is just like a year and a half to actually animate the film, right? So it's not necessarily the artists that take up a lot of the money, it's the time that it's taken to actually find the story that takes up a lot of the time and a lot of the money. Hey guys, I just want to take a quick second to tell you about my storyboarding mentorships. If you are someone who is pursuing a career in storyboarding for feature animation and you are struggling to achieve your goals, this mentorship program might be right for you.
No matter what skill level you are, I will help you become a better storyboard artist so that you could create the sequences that will make your portfolio much more impressive. I've helped past students get into their dream animation schools and their jobs on their first feature film without even having to move to America. If this sounds like something you might be interested in, you can message me on Instagram or LinkedIn and we can schedule a free consultation call to see which mentorship is right for you. Now back to the video.
So where does AI play into that? And I would love to actually see, like, if they release, like, when this movie comes out, if they release a behind the scenes to kind of reveal like how, you know, their process is different and where the money actually goes. And, you know, I think, you know, all of our jobs are kind of like threatened, you know, because of AI. You know, people tend to kind of like just totally reject it. They don't want to have anything to do with it. But I would say is that you should keep up to date, read these articles, try and just find out how things work, because you don't know what the future is going to bring. You know, even if you hate AI, you need to know your enemy. You need to be prepared for whatever the industry is going to become. And don't just be ignorant to just be like, no AI, no AI, no AI. It's happening. No matter how much we argue, no matter how much we want regulation, it just keeps coming. It's nonstop. And I think because this is the first big, you know, budget AI film that's going to come out, we need to pay attention to what is going to actually happen. Because you know, if this is successful, you bet your bottom dollar that all the other big studios are going to be like, oh, we can make millions of dollars with lower budget, less people. Now there's a very bright side of this that's very hypothetical, that, you know, maybe might benefit the artists and really screw over the studios in the future, is that this is the first AI film and the budget is 30 million. Now my guess is that in the future, if AI becomes, you know, more and more used in the process of creating animated films, that budget is probably gonna be cut in half and then just keep being cut in half. So from 30 it might go to 15 to 10 to even like 1 or 500k, and it might just get really, really low. Now what this could actually do for us artists and us creators is that the people who have ideas do not need to beg studios for money, right? We could create our idea, storyboard, or write our script, and if somehow AI becomes really good and AI can actually help us create our work in a similar fashion to this, where we still need to sketch out stuff and draw stuff, we don't need studios anymore. And then we could go directly to the market, and what that will do is that we will have ownership to our IPs, and then we will be making all the millions of dollars that the movie would actually like be bringing in, and we won't have to give up our IP to any studio and lose all the back end and stuff like that. Because it's really interesting, and I want to use this example for K-pop Demon Hunters. All the success that is happening and all the money that movie is generating, the creator of K-pop Demon Hunters, Maggie Kang, she is not seeing any of that money. Like, she's not seeing any of that money. Most likely, Netflix or Sony or whoever purchased the IP from her at a flat rate, and they paid her to direct the film at a flat rate. So any profits at the end, Maggie is not getting, right? Now, could you imagine, now this is just a hypothetical thing, could you imagine if in the future somebody creates an IP like K-pop Demon Hunters, they design the characters by themselves with really sketchy drawings, they have an AI rendered, and they manage to create a film like K-pop Demon Hunters without having to give their IP to Sony or Netflix. They could go directly straight to the market, straight to the cinemas, and have cinemas, screen their films and collect 100% of the profit and not have to like give up their IP. They may have to like give up profit to distributors or something like that. But other than that, they will be making millions and millions of dollars, right? Now that could be a really good thing for creators in the future, is literally getting rid of the studios. And I don't think that studios are actually thinking of this or thinking that this could happen, but this is a possibility, right? Like we've all been kind of frightened that, you know, the studios will just get rid of us, but none of us are thinking of this, us getting rid of the studios. Like we don't need the studios anymore if what the scenario I'm thinking is possible. And I think that could be amazing, because if you have a good idea and if your idea is really good and people love it, you will be making millions and millions and millions of dollars, because you could go directly to the market, because AI has helped you create your film. And you know, if people love it, you make money. If your movie sucks, it doesn't make money, but that's usually just how it actually goes, right? So it could go either way, you know. It could go to benefit, you know, the artist, or it could just totally like screw us over and we have to like find something else. But the thing that I just want to kind of like you know, have you guys do and prepare for is, you know, whatever happens with AI, just be ready for it. Don't just be like so stubborn and fighting for the past, right? You need to be prepared for the future, right? And I'm not saying, you know, oh, stop like learning your craft, stop learning art. You need to actually keep doing that, because if the scenario I think, which is really good for us, pans out, you're gonna need really good storytelling skills, really good sketching skills to flesh out yourself, so that if something like this happens, you could insert it into the AI, make your film, go straight to the market and become like a millionaire or billionaire, or have like the next biggest IP, and then, you know, making deals with like theme parks and toy companies and stuff like that, and you're making like 100% of the profit, right? Just keep up with this, prepare for anything, make sure and keep your eye on this. Yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.